Seamos ellas. ¿Será? Traigámoslas de nosotros, pues.
Good evening, everyone. Is everyone enjoying the LAN party? Yeah! I'm glad to be here. I've been to Bogota several times before, but I'm so happy that LAN Party's invited me to speak. And what I'm going to talk to you about is a little bit about hacking. Now, I turned off my wireless cards here. Well, of course, I brought an Apple and a Windows box. So that way, you can't say I'm favoring one company over another. But I specifically turned off my wireless so no one in the audience could hack my presentation. But I don't know if you turned off your wireless. If you haven't, you might be a victim. You never know. There's lots of machines here to play with. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is a technique that I used as a hacker called social engineering. And what that is being able to manipulate people into giving information. But let me tell you a quick story first. About 20 years ago, there was a man named Stanley Mark Rifkin. And Rifkin was a consultant for the now defunct Security Pacific National Bank. And his job was to design a backup system for the bank's wire transfer network. So one day, he calls the supervisor of the wire transfer center because he wants to interview the clerks that take requests from bank employees. And in Glendale, California, a suburb of Los Angeles, he went to the call center. The supervisor greeted him at the door and let Stanley in to interview the clerks and to see their processes, their procedures, and how they do their job. So as soon as he walks into the call center, he sees a big bulletin board on the wall with a big post-it note. And on the post-it note was written the number 4711. And what 4711 was the code for the day. So any authorized bank employee that would call in a wire transfer just had to know the secret code. So Stanley committed it to memory. So for the next hour and a half, he's walking around the call center, interviewing the clerks, and he's asking them about any gripes with the system, any suggestions for improvement. And during the whole process, calls are coming in from authorized bank employees doing wire transfers, and he's taking copious notes on how the process works. So an hour and a half passes, he thanks the supervisor, and he leaves to go to his office. But on the way to the office, he stopped at the payphone in the bank's lobby. He picked up the phone, and he called the wire transfer center, but this time he changed hats. He wasn't Stanley Rifkin, bank consultant. He was now Michael Hansen from the international department. And the young lady, first question the young lady asked him was, "What's your office number, sir?" He looked down at his yellow pad, 286, because he got that when he was doing the interviews. She goes, "Sir, may I get the code for the day?" 4711. "How may I help you?" "I'd like to transfer $10,200,000 to Waschad Handels Bank in Zurich, Switzerland through Irving Trust in New York." She goes, "No problem, sir. Let me get your inter-office settlement number." Well, Stanley kind of scratched his head. He looked down at his pad. And nothing had come up about an inter-office settlement number, but instead of getting nervous and just giving up, he just said, "Well, let me call you right back." Stanley hangs up the phone, deposits another coin. He calls the international department. This time he changes hats again, and he's now George from the wire transfer center. So he asked the young man that answered the phone, "What's your department's inter-office settlement number? Because we're trying to clear a transfer that was called in yesterday." The young man said, "Oh, no problem, it's 2478. Stanley thanked him very much, called back the lady back in the wire transfer room, and gave her the inter-office settlement number of 2478. She said that the transfer of $10,200,000 would be completed in the next 24 to 48 hours. When Stanley hung up the phone, he was interviewed by the press after he was busted. He said he felt like he had won the lottery. So now $10 million on the way to Zurich, Stanley had to figure a way to get it back into the United States. So what he did is he contacted a Russian diamond company that would take the cash and convert it to diamonds. A week later, he lands in Zurich. The bank still had no idea they'd been ripped off. He does the diamond deal with this Russian diamond company, and now he's in this hotel room running his hands through $10 million worth of diamonds. That must have felt pretty good, huh? Problem is, how does he get the diamonds back to the United States? Well, I guess he didn't choose to use FedEx, because that'd be a little bit suspicious. Probably they don't insure packages up to $10 million these days, or back 20 years ago. So at London's Heathrow International Airport, he purchased a money belt, put the money belt on in the restroom, and stuffed the diamonds in the money belt. And he was praying to God that United States Customs would not search him when he comes back into the country. So he arrives in the LAX, Los Angeles International Airport. Customs asks him a few questions, and now he's back in the United States, free and clear, $10 million worth of diamonds. A few days later, he calls his lawyer, a guy named Gary Goodgame, and invites him to lunch at the Beverly Hills Hotel in Los Angeles. And over lunch, he reaches into his breast pocket, pulls out 3 large diamonds, puts them into an ashtray, and pushes them over to his attorney